Now, the final step in this process is for the clients to receive that group policy, process it, and then go through all the machinations that are necessary to grab that update metadata, recognize that they're attached to a WSUS server, inventory themselves, and report back on what they find. And that can actually take a really long period of time, more so than I think you'd probably want to sit around waiting for it to occur. Well, thankfully, Microsoft includes a couple of just ways in which you can accelerate the process to get a better feel for whether or not you've got things configured appropriately up until this point. That is a couple of commands that I want to just share with you because they will come in really handy as you're setting up this infrastructure. The first of which is just gpupdate/force so that we can essentially update our group policy and have it recognize that you should now participate with this WSUS server file 1. But once group policy is updated, we haven't really done anything yet to tell the client, that the Windows Update agent, that it needs to go about actually accessing the WSUS server. Here are a couple of commands that you'll want to know. The first of which is WUAUCLT reset authorization and then detect now. This first command will begin the process of talking to the WSUS server and to detect whether or not there are any updates that need to be applied here to this machine. The second command then is WUAUCLT report now. And as you might imagine, this then reports whatever it finds back up to WSUS. Once you run these couple of commands, give it a couple of seconds, and then after that, you should be able to come back here to your WSUS console and refresh things to take a look at, well, whether or not you have machines that have attached here to your WSUS server. It looks like I have, in fact, two computers here, file 1 and file 2, that have attached. And if I take a look, I'm at 99% for all the different updates that should be installed on these machines. File 1 has one update that's needed. File 2 here actually has two updates that are needed. It's here now where we can begin approving the updates that need to be deployed to these machines in our environment. And the easiest way to do that starts by coming back here to the All Updates node and making sure that I'm looking at the unapproved filter with the status set to failed or needed. This will give me the list of which updates are being requested by those computers that have attached to this WSUS infrastructure. And in fact, this makes things really easy for approving these updates because all I really have to do is come up here and choose to approve the update for whichever the groups make sense for the deployment of that update. Recall earlier when I told you that a lot of environments will have one or perhaps two different test groups where updates are deployed first? Well, as you can see here, this gives you the abilities to first deploy this update to the test computers group, and then only after you have a good comfort level that this update's not going to screw anything up, do you then go about applying it to the all computers group. Once you click OK here, this update will now be made available, and the next time that client hits that maintenance interval we've configured in group policy, it'll go about downloading, installing, and perhaps rebooting the computer in order to support the installation of this update.